Beer and candy pairings. What works? We are in the spooky season, as you can tell from my t-shirt today. We are very close to Halloween. So I thought I'd do something fun for the blog and talk you through some beer and candy pairings, or some beer and sweets pairings here in the UK. I've chosen a selection of sweets that I really enjoy, and I will pair them with some different beers for you today. This would be really good for a Halloween party. It'd be really good for any sort of holiday event you may have coming up, or you could just have some fun with some friends and neighbours. As with all beer and food pairings, you need to think about how you're going to match up your food with your beer. Are the flavours going to match? Are they going to be harmonious together? Or are they going to be different so you get some sort of new, innovative flavour? Consider this when picking your beers and candies. I suggest getting a selection of your favourite candies and a selection of your favourite beers and just sitting down and trying them together. See what works for you, because remember, everybody's palate is different. First up, I have chosen dark lager and Kit Kat. The black lager is roasty with tobacco notes. The sweetness of the Kit Kat takes the bitterness away from the dark malts of this beer, but enhances the lovely roastiness. As with the Dunkle, the carbonation of the black lager scrubs the palate, which takes away the richness of the Kit Kat and makes you want to try some more. Next we have Snickers and Dunkle. I found that the Snickers highlights the nutty caramel notes of the Dunkle. The sweetness from the Snickers allows the cereal notes from the malts of the Dunkle grain bill to come through, which is very refreshing. And the carbonation from this lager style scrubs the palate, which makes you want to try some more. I wanted to try Percy Pigs with two different beers. I have a rhubarb Hefeweizen and a Weiss beer. I felt that the fruit flavours from the Percy Pigs would go very well with the wheat base, and the rhubarb might bring out some interesting combinations with the fruit flavours. If you're not in the UK and can't get Percy Pigs, then any fruit flavoured gummy will probably work with this pairing. Percy Pigs are made with apple, mandarin and elderberry juices. As I suspected, pairing this with the rhubarb Hefeweizen made a beautiful floral, perfumey and fruity base. I think this might be my favourite pairing. I also tried it with the Weiss. This brought out the Weiss beer's aromatics and made for a very subtle but interesting pairing. Starburst and an IPA I thought would be a good combination of fruity flavours. Because of the tropical fruit flavours that comes from the hops in an IPA, you might get a nice fruit salad type effect with the chewy Starburst. I didn't really enjoy the Starburst with the IPA. I was hoping that it would knock back some of the bitterness. Some of the flavours did. I tried all of them. But really it took away the fruitiness of the IPA, though the carbonation of the IPA did clean away the sweetness from the Starburst. Fizzy and sour sweets aren't my favourites, but I thought they would go quite well with a dry hopped lager. The fizzy sweets did work really well with dry hopped lager. There was a cleanness from the lager that helped with the acidity of the sour sweets, and it brought out the fruitiness of both the sweet and the dry hop. I tried the sour sweets with the Weiss beer as well. This was okay, it brought out the clove notes. My final pairing was a classic and very matching in its flavours. I did a milk stout with milk chocolate. Pairing milk chocolate with a milk stout might seem like the obvious choice. However, I found that this pairing really helped to bring out the rich coffee notes of the milk stout. It also almost gave a bit of a biscuity background from the malts. It was a really lovely balance. While we're on the subject of chocolate, I find that fruit creams from selection boxes go really well with the stout because you get the fruit flavours with the chocolatey notes of the stout. Dark chocolate also goes really well with a fruit beer such as a framboise or a kriek. My absolute favourite sweet pairing out of all of these was the fruit-based Percy Pigs with the rhubarb Hefeweizen. I think the matching of the fruit flavours really brought out a floral, perfumey, complex flavour. My least favourite of all of the pairings was the Starburst with the IPA. I also didn't think that the Starburst would go very well with any of the other beers anyway. They've got a real waxy character that I didn't think paired well with beer at all. But feel free to try your own styles with it and let me know what worked for you. I hope you've enjoyed this journey into beer and candy pairings. Let me know in the comments what pairings you've tried and that you enjoyed. And if you'd like to see more food and beer pairings, make sure you're following Love Beer Learning.